Okay, so I got something for y'all to chew on. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection. So I was listening to a podcast the other day, NPR. I listen to NPR, sue me. It was actually really interesting. It was based off a TED Talk about this guy who was studying addiction. And essentially the story goes that in Portugal in the early 2000s, there was a big opioid problem. And everybody was high off heroin. Lots of people were overdosing. It was a really bad situation. So what one guy in the government decided to pitch was to legalize it, to monitor it, to regulate it, and to get those people integrated back into society somehow. It turns out it worked. The heroin addicts would go into a clinic, they would shoot up under the supervision of a nurse, and then they would leave the clinic and head out to their government-subsidized job, where their salary was paid in part by the Portuguese government because they wanted to reconnect these folks, these Portuguese citizens, with society. And what happened was that since this started in the early 2000s, 0 people have died from heroin overdose. Nobody. Not a single person. Which is insane if you think about it. How could legalizing heroin prevent all heroin deaths and also decrease the number of people who are addicted to heroin? And that brings me to what I opened this with. The opposite of addiction is connection. Those people weren't addicted to the chemical hooks in heroin. Those people were addicted to the feeling of connection they had with a chemical. And there are stories, there's a story one time back at the academy I heard of this woman who took 1 Percocet, which is an opioid, and then the next time she took it, she dressed up for the occasion, she showered beforehand, got herself a nice meal, and sat down before she realized she was going on a date with a pill, which is insane. It's insane how it works on your mind, the feeling of there being something else there. You're connected to the drug. So what these people were finding in the heroin was a sense of connection that they couldn't find anywhere else. And so that's where the job comes in. And so they were reconnected with society in the job, and they didn't need the heroin anymore, and they ended up, most of them, getting off it, which is wild. Made me rethink addiction and the people that I've known who have been addicted to things, and the more I think about it, the more the dots kind of connect, and to me it's like, okay, these people are addicted to something, but it's because they're looking for something that they can only find in a drug, whether it's nicotine, whether it's weed, whether it's heroin. It made me kind of rethink the people that I've formally judged for this. And so I'm going to end this very, very short vlog with a sort of challenge to you. To when you see somebody who's going through addiction, who's battling addiction, whether or not they've admitted it to you, because chances are you can probably tell that they're fighting through something. Talk to them about it, not in the sense of, oh, you're addicted to this, let's get you off it, but, oh, how can I connect with you better? How can I cause you to be connected to something else besides this drug? Think outside the box, like that guy in the Portuguese government who said, you know what? The opposite of addiction is getting these people jobs. Think outside the box, because I'm going to start doing that as well. And who knows? Maybe you could positively impact somebody by it. Maybe you could change somebody's life. And if you change somebody's life for the better, that's really all you can ask for, huh? Something to chew on. That is all. Enjoy your Thursday. Out.